who will meet an employee that hates the customer's guts, and this will force her to do something that's never been done in Undercover Boss history. Follow our next boss, the Chief Brand Officer of Boston Market, Sarah.
My name is Sarah Bidorf, and I'm the Chief Brand Officer at Boston Market.
Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Boston Market offers homestyle comfort food at 470 locations across the United States. With an annual revenue of $500 million, Boston Market is one of the largest restaurant chains in the world. Sarah will be going undercover as Rachel, a diner waitress who hopes to open her own restaurant. For her first job, Sarah travels to Duluth, Georgia to work as a shift supervisor.
I'm in Duluth, Georgia today to work as an hourly shift supervisor.
She meets up with Ronnie, who shows her around and tells her the basic rules of the company. As he shows her around, Ronnie reveals that he doesn't really like how many rules the company has, and he thinks that the company's too strict on following their standards.
It shouldn't be a question, you should be forcing it down their throat, because that is what corporate has told us to do.
And he's also not fond of the customers as well. Ronnie also describes himself as a diva, which Sarah took as a joke when he first met her, but when she hears his opinions on the company, it becomes more concerning. Sarah ignores his comments for now, thinking that they might still be a joke, and she tries to focus on the job. But Ronnie again tells her that he also doesn't like the mundane job, so he gives it to her. He also continues his rant, and this time, he focuses mainly on customers, and he reveals that he doesn't really like the customers, and that he's had a particular hatred for kids and the elderly.
Children and old people are literally the worst I've ever seen in my entire life, because none of them know what they want, and they're like literally can't talk.
He then starts insulting customers and disparages the company for putting the customers on a pedestal. This really pisses off Sarah, and she goes outside to take a break and decides what to do with Ronnie. Bosses don't usually blow their own cover, but for the first time in Undercover history, Sarah calls on Ronnie and reveals her true identity right at the restaurant. She then confronts him about his behavior, and Ronnie tries to defend himself by saying that his comments weren't that bad and that he was just a bit of a drama queen. But as you've guessed it, that excuse doesn't really work out for him, and she fires him on the spot.
So go home, and Neil will follow up with you.
So that's it? That's all?
For her next job, Sarah travels to Tampa, Florida to work as assistant general manager.
Today I'm in Tampa, Florida, and I'm going to be working as an assistant general manager.
She meets up with Sash, and she first teaches her how to prepare a chicken. Sarah then tries to do what she learned, but she struggles to cut the chicken.
Rachel's skills with the knife, it's awkward. The chicken's already dead. You're really not gonna do anything to it that isn't really already done.
And because Sash was a good teacher, Sarah did better throughout the day. On their break, Sarah learns that employees don't really get any breaks because of the workload, and they also don't get paid as much for what they do. The next day, Sarah travels to Fort Lauderdale, Florida to work in the drive-thru, and
Today I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'll be working in the drive-thru.
she meets up with AJ and they get right into the job. AJ teaches her the basic skills of working in a drive-thru, which Sarah then tries to apply, and does pretty okay at first, but during the lunch rush, the demands begin to pile up and she starts to struggle.
The drive-thru is really stressful. Somebody's ordering in your ear, and then someone's waiting at the window, and then to put the clock on top of it, it's just a very stressful combination.
AJ then helps her out, and while working with him, she sees how good of an employee he is. For her last job, Sarah travels to North Carolina to work with another assistant general manager.
Today I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I'm going to be working as an assistant general manager.
She meets up with April, who shows her around and explains to her how everything is done. April is very good at her job.
Rachel, okay. Kind of speed it up. She's like the Energizer Bunny. I'm thinking I'm gonna have a hard time keeping up with April. I mean, she's already going pretty fast.
And she wants to grow within the company, but she tells Sarah that people who come from the outside with a degree will get a better chance than people who already work inside the company. She reveals that once she finishes college, she might need to leave the company just because she wants to get a better position.
Oh, I always dream about moving up the corporate ladder. I'm in school, I'm in college, yeah.
Really?
Yes!
Oh, that's fantastic.
And finally, Sarah's undercover time comes to an end, and she's invited her employees to reveal her true identity. First in was Sash. She tells her that she had a great time with her, and then gives her a promotion to a general manager, and gives her a $20,000 bonus.
When I think about the future, it feels so much easier. It feels like I'm gonna be okay. And
Next in was AJ, and she tells him that he was an amazing employee and offers him the supervisor position. She then goes on to give him $20,000 so he can chase his dreams.
Such a blessing. I don't even know where to start. It's just God works in mysterious ways.
Last in was April, and Sarah had a great time with her, and she was also impressed by her ambition, so she promotes her to a general manager and then gives her $20,000 for her college tuition and another $5,000 bonus to do with whatever she likes.
I have never had a job that will step up and say, you know what, we see what you're doing and we appreciate it and we want you to stay with us.
Let us now follow our next boss, the founder and CEO of Wild Wings, Rick. So he opened the first Wild Wings restaurant after borrowing $15,000. A few years later, he started franchising his restaurant and his business grew very fast. But with that success, problems also came with it. When the economic recession hit, everything got worse and the company started losing $200,000 a month. Rick managed to save his company but strategically scaled the company down. The company is now on the rise, and Rick believes that this is the best time to go undercover because he wants to find out what issues are holding his company back. He'll be going undercover as Angelo, an immigrant from the US looking for a new job in Canada. For his first job, he travels to Ottawa, South Ontario to work as a bartender.
I'm on my way to Ottawa South location. It's one of our more profitable locations. It's a Friday night. It should be very, very busy, and I look forward to getting...
Rick has worked as a bartender when he lived in Florida, so he's pretty confident that he could do this job. He meets up with Brittany, and they then start the job by changing kegs. They then move on to taking orders from customers, and Brittany sees Rick is very stiff when talking to the customers. And so she gives him some pointers and shows him how to be more relaxed and approachable. Rick improves a little, but he accidentally messes up a customer's order and gives them free food. Brittany tells him that employees make a mistake and they pay for it out of their pocket, so Rick pays for the customer's meal. On their break, Rick asks Brittany what she would change if this was her restaurant, and she tells him that the company changes menus too often and they don't really listen to feedback, so even when there's a new menu item that's very popular, it gets changed a few months later and they end up losing customers.
Our Thursday promotion, once I get rid of the burger, will be to bring the pound and pint back. People want it back, and that is critical.
He also learns something personal about Brittany. Apparently, she couldn't go to college because of a rare blood disease. For his next job, Rick travels to Orleans, Ontario to work in the kitchen.
I'm in Orleans, Ontario today at one of our new franchises. I'll be working in the kitchen.
He meets up with Steve and he first shows him how to fry the wings. Rick invented the recipe so he doesn't struggle at this job at all, and while working together, Steve points out that the burgers are not selling well, so he thinks the restaurant should just stick to making good chicken wings and not waste energy and time with the burgers. Rick was annoyed to hear this and thinks his way is correct, but moments later, a burger gets sent back from an unhappy customer. Steve then reveals that even though the company had reduced the number of wings from 9 to 8 for a single serving, Steve always gives out 9 because he doesn't want the customers to feel that they're getting ripped off. Rick lowered the number of wings to help franchise owners because they were struggling to keep afloat, but he also understands Steve's point. For his next job, Rick travels to Ottawa, East Ontario to work under the regional manager.
I'll be working the day shift, and I'll be checking out their cleanliness.
He meets up with Laura and they get right into the job, and they first start with cleaning the bathroom and move on to the other rooms. And Rick was enthusiastic to do the job and he does pretty well. They next move on to serving customers, and on the lunch rush, Rick, learning from his past experience, does pretty well here too. Laura, as a manager, does all she can and she helps out her employees whenever they need her. She's also very positive and has great relationships with her customers, which Rick really loves. On their break, Laura shares that she doesn't think corporate respects the people working in the restaurants, and she tells them about a promotional material that should have been sent out to them, but it never arrived. She then tried to contact headquarters, but they never really gave her any response. Rick sees himself as a boss who would listen to his employees and fix the issues for them, but when Laura lets out her grievances, he gets mad at her, and he believes that she shouldn't bash the company because of one incident, and he actually gets so mad that he goes outside to take a breath. For his last job, he travels to Oshawa, Ontario to work as a bartender.
I'm in Oshawa today. Sales have been dropping dramatically here, and I gotta really assess what's going on here.
He meets up with Sabrina and she gets him right into the job, and they first start with bringing in the ice for the machine, and they then move on serving the customers. Sabrina's work is pretty intense as she juggles 3 jobs, so when Rick tries to do it, he struggles a little bit. Rick sees that this store was using complicated daily special menus, so when he asks Sabrina why they do this, she tells him that the owner does it, and she also tells him that the owner does other things that are not allowed within the company, and he's also a very mean owner that yells at his employees and doesn't treat them well. After the lunch break, Rick returns for his shift, but he's greeted with screaming coming from the office. Sabrina then comes out of the office very upset, and we see that she was arguing with the owner. Rick is angry by what he was seeing, so he asks Sabrina to bring the owner to the restaurant. The owner comes out shortly after and immediately recognizes Rick, and then tries to act nice, but Rick loses his shit and angrily tells him to apologize to Sabrina, and the owner then says sorry, but Rick wasn't done yet, and he condemns him for treating her really badly and offers Sabrina a job that pays triple her salary. Rick then disconnects his relationship with the owner and
Don't do that. You don't need my name. You don't need my name. Call it Dave's Wings.
Come on. I love you, Rick.
No, you don't love me. Give me a break.
apologizes to Sabrina on how she was treated. And finally, Rick's undercover time comes to an end and he invites his employees to reveal his true identity. First in was Steve. He tells them that he had a great experience with him and then offers to send him to a fully paid vacation.
That really means a lot to me.
Thanks.
Want to definitely get home and see the fiance and tell her all the good news.
Next in was Brittany, and he tells her that she was an amazing employee, and also offers to send her to a fully paid vacation with $5,000 of spending money.
It means a lot to me. Yeah, it's intense. It's a dream come true for me, yeah.
Next in was Laura, and he tells her that she was a great manager, but he says her views on the company were incorrect, and he tells her that he will improve on the communication system. He then offers to send her and her family on a vacation and also gives her $5,000 as well.
It's, overwhelmed. It's nice to be told that, you're doing a good job.
Last in was Sabrina. He apologizes for the way she was treated, and he gives her a brand new car and reconfirms her pay raise.
A fresh start.
All right. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm nervous, but happy.
Stella and co-owner Jessica goes undercover to meet the sweetest employee ever. This boss went undercover to see what goes down at their distribution center in Groveport, Ohio. And boy, did they find some awesome workers. So the boss decided to try her hand at picking and met her instructor, Tyler. Let me just say, for Tyler, Nicole was a total babe with her bright blonde hair. He loved it.
Going into our distribution center in Groveport, Ohio, and I'm going to be a picker. A picker is the person who gets the order and goes to the shelves where the product is stored, puts it in the box, and gets it ready to be packed. I want to see an operation that's clean, efficient, safe, and well organized for customer delivery.
Hello.
I'm Nicole.
Tyler, it's nice to meet you. Nicole, she's a very beautiful woman. First thing I noticed was her bright blonde hair. It was really cute.
Picking is basically like grocery shopping, but for orders. And it's important to be quick and efficient. Tyler, one of the employees, was killing it with his picking skills, even though he works 2 jobs and goes to college. What a champ. So they decided to have a little race, and let's just say Tyler won fair and square, but he was still super gracious about it.
We'll get you a Gladiator. We got one actually right here for you, and we'll fulfill that shopping list. We'll drop it off in packing, which we'll do a little bit of that later. So the way you would start is it has a cursor, kind of like a computer. You would see your location, which container to put it in.
There's all different numbers on all different things and lots of buttons to press. I was so confused. It's like a barcode 73B05. Here we go, down here.
I work 4 10-hour shifts here. I go to college. Yeah, so I'm working all the time.
He's working 2 jobs and going to school. He's an upbeat, happy guy.
We're going to do a little race through here. You ready in 3?
Okay.
2, go.
There I go.
Oh, you can't stop in front of me. That's not fair.
Oh, I almost gave somebody the wrong item.
I didn't really hear too many coming from Nicole's way. We got a winner.
Tyler was a very good winner because he did not gloat. He told me I did a good job.
The boss also got a glimpse of Tyler's passion for his work and how he takes pride in everything he does. From quality control to put the thank you card in the right spot. Tyler's also studying to become a dental hygienist and has a passion for psychology and mental illness. What a cool dude. Tyler really inspired Nicole. Exactly the type of worker she wanted to see.
How long have you been working 2 jobs?
Since I've worked here, about 1.5 years.
When times do you go to school?
Monday through Thursday.
Night class, night shift.
Yeah.
It is your night shift.
Yeah, basically. I'm going for dental hygienist. I really have a passion for like psychology and mental illness.
When I heard Tyler talk about his humble beginnings, I was really filled with admiration. I would really love to see him pursuing something that made his heart sing.
At the big reveal, the boss decided to give a new pair of shoes to everyone on their anniversary every year. The shoes were Tyler's favorite color and had a nice, cushy feel to them. Tyler was overwhelmed with joy and gratitude, and he thanked the boss with a hug. The boss then offered Tyler $5,000 so that he didn't have to take every overtime hour that came his way.
You were incredible.
Thank
you
you.
were such a sweet instructor. You know, I've been talking to your managers about you, Tyler, and what I heard was that you actually did something very extraordinary for your coworkers during the holiday season.
Oh yeah, I bought everybody's insoles for their shoes because I bought some for myself and it really helps.
You inspired me. In honor of you, every year on people's anniversary, they're getting a new pair of shoes.
Oh my God.
After you, they're gonna get these have really nice cushy feet.
My favorite color, so they look so nice.
I want to give you $5,000 so that you don't have to take every overtime hour that comes your way.
Oh my God. That's so amazing of you. Thank you. I can't put into words what this means to me.
The boss went one step further and gave Tyler $20,000 to help him with his education. Tyler had a passion for psychology, and he loved to help people. The boss saw that passion in Tyler and wanted to help him achieve his goals. Tyler was moved to tears and thanked the boss again.
I just love to help people.
I can see that. And I want to give you $20,000 towards your education.
That means so much to me. $20,000 to help me think about even seeing that much money, you know?
This is it. The best employees round is over.